I'm making this video today just in response to a question I got, and it was from someone who's thinking about coming to Cambodia to teach English, and they don't really know where to start or any of that. But one of the questions they had, which I haven't answered in a previous video, is salary expectations in Cambodia. Like what kind of salary can you expect here? And having lived in Japan and China, I can tell you, you're not going to make that much money. Because in Japan, I made about $3,000 a month. In China, I made $1,900 or so, maybe close to $2,000. But I also got a free apartment there, so that helped. But you're not going to make that much money in Cambodia, at least not working at one of the private ESL schools like I work at. So with no experience, you can probably expect to make around $1,000 a month. That's just starting out, like having never stepped foot in a classroom, as a teacher before. That's probably what you can expect to make. If you do have experience, you're probably going to be right around $1,200. That's if you go to one of the chain schools, not like an actual official international school. If you go to one of the private chain schools, you're probably going to be around the range of $1,000 to $1,200 with experience or no experience. Because I know people with master's degrees who are making about $1,200 a month, which is what I started out at the school I'm at now. So yeah, but if you do get to an international school, like an actual international school, then you could make close to $2,000 there. That's if you have experience. With no experience, you're probably still going to be around maybe $1,400 or so. Yeah, so I definitely recommend going to an international school, like a real international school with international standards. You could tell the difference because if you go to a school that's not an actual international school, it's full of nothing but Cambodians. So it's just called an international school, but they still have like a bunch of classes in Khmer, and it's not really international except for having a few holidays off that Cambodians normally wouldn't have off. So, but if you go to an international school, you're going to go in there, there's going to be, Muslim students, there's going to be, students from, the UK, from Germany. It's going to look like international. It's going to be like United Nations in there. So that will be the difference. And the actual international schools usually have a lot more money, so the schools are clean. And well, I'm not going to name any particular school, but you can look around and you should be able to find stuff like that. But here in Cambodia, you actually don't even need a degree to teach, because I know several teachers who don't have a degree and they still make at least $1,000. And there's also the other kind of school, which is an NGO run school, which is kind of like a nonprofit school or a charity school, and they are always looking for volunteer teachers. But a lot of times those are scams also. So they might have you work there and try to keep you there as long as possible and not pay you anything. You might get like a free room or something like that. But yes, that school would be good if you're like a backpacker and you just want to get a little bit of experience working. Then that would be a school that I'd recommend, because they don't have contracts or anything like that, and you could just work there for a little while. But yeah, so if you go to one of the chain schools or whatever, I wouldn't settle for anything less than $1,000 a month. Anything less than that, then they're just trying to scam you. So if they try to offer you $900 or something, I would just be firm with your requirements, and then if they don't cave to what you're requesting, then just go ahead and walk out the door. That's my recommendation. Because I mean, if you don't show them what you're worth, then they're not going to value you at all. And a lot of if you're making that much money in Cambodia, you're doing really well. $1,000 a month is unheard of for a Khmer person to make. Because most of the Khmer at my school, they make like $300 a month, and those are, actual teachers and everything. So, I mean, they went to school for teaching, like teaching geography or whatever, but they're making like maybe $300 a month. Security guards make $150 a month. The cleaning staff makes maybe $100 a month. So you're doing way better than them. They would they would practically kill for $1,000 a month. So count your blessings there. But you can always get more than 1,000 if you know where to look. So, you know, definitely shop around. I wouldn't just take the first school that you can get. If you're applying from overseas, then it might be a good idea to do that, you know, as long as they offer you at least 1,000. But one recommendation I would also have is when they ask you how much you want to make, just say something. This is my go-to saying. I always say like, well, I heard your salary is competitive. I just wanted to see how competitive it is. Because then it leaves it open for them to tell you what they make or what they pay. If you tell them what you're expecting, they might pay more than that, and they're just like, if they start out at like $1,400 a month and you say you're expecting 1,000, then they're going to give you 1,000. So don't tell them what you're expecting. Just kind of try to get them to tell you what they normally pay, because they'll try to avoid that information if they can, just to see, you know, how cheap they can get you. So don't undervalue yourself. I mean, just being a native speaker, you already have a lot of qualifications. If you have a degree, native speaker, and a TEFL, you're very marketable here. So yeah, don't undervalue yourself. Take as much money as you can get. Yeah, take it while it lasts. All right, other than that, I will talk to you later.